Welcome to the 30-Minute Hour. It's the weekly podcast where we discuss business, sports, politics, and whatever's on our mind. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner. Apparently that makes everybody laugh. So joining me on the 30-Minute Hour is Ted Fells. He's our business strategist extraordinaire and all-around good guy.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
I got my Nats hat on again this week.
Right, you got the sports theme.
And we had softball games this weekend. Again, remember last week we were 0-2.
0-2. So how'd you do this weekend?
We won one.
Got
Won
a
our
victory.
First game, 1-1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, first game though I think I was 0-2. Second game I think I was 1-2 with a walk.
Okay.
So I was really productive in that game. So really excited about being 1-3 right now. So we're making a move.
You're on your way to making it to the majors and making it big time.
Absolutely, man. I'm going Major League Softball all the way.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good because that helps our guest can help you to get there.
Who's our guest?
All right. That's a great question. So we're going to bring him into the fray.
Okay.
And Britton, a Renaissance man, the man who refuses to be pigeonholed, he couldn't make it. Shocking, I know.
Shocking.
But as you know, and if you've watched the 30-Minute Hour before, he could call in at any minute. And when he does call in, he's going to have a great question.
No, he does have a great question.
We don't know what he's doing. We don't know where he is. He's at a remote location, but you never know. So everybody, you'll be finding out just like we do if he dials in. Okay, so let's introduce our guest. Are we ready to bring in our guest?
Man, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm excited about this guest.
It's exciting times.
Man, it's been hard to get this guest.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to steal the thunder.
Well, and it just proves that we're not your everyday podcast.
No.
If you want to find a unique podcast that brings excellent guests, you need to go on to Facebook, you can go on to Instagram, you can go on to YouTube and type in the 30-Minute Hour. But keep in mind, we're not your everyday podcast. Let's talk about our guest. He is the founder of a nonprofit organization. It's called You Designate Me. It's an organization with one goal, and that is to see every student athlete develop to their fullest potential while becoming a valuable asset to the community. That's excellent. We'll have him provide more insight as far as exactly how they do that. He's the founder. Now, he's a former 3-sport standout at Washington Lee High School. Woo. In Arlington, Virginia. Got some Washington Lee fans in the building. All right.
Let me tell you, and I know.
Yeah.
This guy can play too.
He can ball.
Oh my God.
He can do a little something.
He's that guy that can play everything.
Okay.
Baseball, football, basketball. I think he probably played tennis. I never seen him do it, but he can play everything.
You just play everything.
Everything.
You're just versatile like that.
Everything.
Okay.
So I was on a couple teams with him, but I wasn't as good as him.
Not as good?
No.
Okay. All right. So he had college letters from almost every major college around the country for football. He was being recruited by UNC to play baseball, but was having some challenges academically. He'll talk about that and what he got out of that. He ended up taking the scholarship offer to play basketball at Shepherd College, which is now Shepherd University. And but he ended up finishing his great college basketball career at Fairmont State University. So please join me in welcoming to the 30-Minute Hour, Warren Dominique Doles.
Hey. Yes.
Warren. All right, man. Welcome to the 30-Minute Hour.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. So we're going to get into this discussion here. The theme of the show is finding the advantage in your adversity. And that's an interesting thing to me because if we follow sports, you've got the Washington basketball team on your hat there. Right. And I look at the NBA a lot of times, there's a lot of adversity. The teams that win the championship, they have to go through things.
Got to go through something.
And you look at, these great players that they have to go through everybody doubting them. They have to go through making mistakes in the big moment, and everybody's saying they're choke artists and they can't win the big one. And then they finally get to the top of the mountain. I know I was watching an interview with Michael Jordan here recently, and he says all the things he went through with trying to get past Detroit is what really propelled him.
Absolutely.
He even said he doesn't think he'd be a champion without that.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
You know, they got swept, they kept losing, they beat them up. So I think the key is that you have to find the advantage in your adversity. You know, and I don't want to bring that up. This is a good time. I know we've got listeners that are going through their own adversities, right? And maybe not on the basketball court, but maybe in the corporate office. Maybe they're not meeting quota. Maybe they're not making the money they feel like they should have made. Maybe they made a mistake, and they're trying to recover from that thing. I know that's something that you and I will talk about here in a little bit, but the key is to find the advantage in the adversity. So just going through your bio, you felt like you didn't focus on your education like you could have. I mean, you were this great athlete. Let's talk about that. How did that shape you into that adversity of not focusing on your education? And then talk about that.
Well, going through school, like a lot of athletes, I had a couple of people doing my homework, ladies. You know,
a couple of people.
You know, the girlfriends, the best friends. Hey, actually, my brother's wife, I don't know how many years now, but she helped me do my homework in high school. It was just sports, man.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, baseball, all year long. That's what I went to school for, I thought, at the time.
Okay.
Just to go ahead and, be a great athlete. I always stay eligible, though. I was never one of those kids that were on the line of being ineligible. I think I finished like a 2.5
Okay.
Back then. But, school just wasn't focus of mine. It was just passing, just getting past so that I could get out on the football field or the baseball field or the basketball court to play. And that's what it was.
But it seems like you feel like that really held you back. How do you feel that? How did that hold you back? Just not really focusing like you could.
Well, one, looking back on it, baseball is probably my best sport. But a lot of black people didn't play baseball when I was in school. But I was pretty good, and I still had the handwritten letter from the University of North Carolina's baseball head coach back then. I still have that letter in which he told me he wanted me on campus, he wanted me on his team, and he wanted me to go to North Carolina. But turned those transcripts over, and it was a no-go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that sucked. Not only ever talk to him, I probably never knew that. I probably never know that. Yeah, so then when it came to football, everybody wanted me to go to JUCO first, because they didn't know if I could do the work.
Right.
And I just, at that point, I had a conversation with my mom, and she was like, well, you got one basketball offer. Why don't you just take that after a year if you don't like it, just see what happens. So I just took the basketball offer. That was a way to get out. My parents couldn't pay for me to go to college. So I would say basketball is probably my third best sport.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you feel like your best sport was baseball?
Baseball, probably football, then basketball.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He was great at all of them.
Great at all.
Let me tell you something. This guy here, he was great at all of them. I mean, man, I just remember coming in freshman year. Basketball, football. I mean, everybody that was starting positions, all that was just shook up when he got there. No. But always a humble guy, though.
Always a humble guy.
Always a humble guy.
Okay.
Even if he made you look really bad on the field.
Right.
Right. He just laughed at you as you run it back down court, but always a humble guy.
So now, were you just like a natural? So you just were always just gifted athletic? Were you that person that irritates me that you would get on the
right.
Like you'd go on the golf course for the first time and you hitting the ball straight down the fairway? Are you that guy?
Yeah, probably. I'm probably that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that.
So like when did you know? And like what age did you know that, man, you know what? I am really good. I can really go far with this.
Well, the thing that was different with myself, I would sit home and I watch ABC Worldwide Sports, and I would watch boxing. That's how I learned how to fight, by watching Muhammad Ali. And I would pick everything, and to this day, when I'm boxing and all to this day, that's how I learned. I learned how to ski by watching Wild World of Sports and them jumping down the slopes.
Right.
So the first time I went skiing, I fell down maybe 3 times, and after that I haven't failed since. So watching a lot, learning how to ride a motorcycle by watching my father click the clutch. And I'd steal his motorcycle while he was at work. I watched him, so just a lot of visualization. And I do tell, the kids and people that I work with today, visualization will take you a long way.
Oh, wow.
And they did a study a long time ago, and I did tell this young fella that too, is that they had 10 guys that actually shot free throws. And you had 10 guys that just laid in bed and visualized shooting free throws. And those guys came back in, and they shot a higher percentage than the guys that were actually on the floor shooting the free throws. So visualization, it plays a large part in what I do. And it helped me develop the person I became as a student athlete now, and I say. Really not a student athlete, but as an athlete.
Okay, interesting. So why don't you introduce the person that's sitting to your right?
This is the young GOAT right here. This is
Young GOAT.
This is Haywood Highsmith. He just finished his first season up with the 76ers,
Right.
Philadelphia 76ers. We just got back from the NBA Summer League, and he put on the show the last game. So he had 16, 3, 2, and 2.
Okay.
So we'll figure out what happens with him. This summer we'll see where his agent gets him. Is he going back to Philly? We don't know. Where will he be? That's the mystery right now.
Okay. And this is someone you've mentored, and he's been through your program. And so Haywood, why don't you tell us, like, how has his program helped you?
I mean, first of all, he's, off the court, he's always been like family to me, an uncle, I never father figure there, and my father's not there, but, he's always been, such an inspiration to me, as, his kids and the wife, just a great father, great man, first of all, but on the court, he always, just motivates me, always just, motivates me, just preaches me to, be better than him, like he said, he wasn't the best student, he was one of the best athletes, but, I just try to, learn from him, and take as much advice as I can get to him, because he's been through it all, like he said, but he's always been just a great inspiration to me, and just a great person to be around.
Wow. Okay. So here we have an example of someone who's about to take it to the next level, and hopefully he remembers us here at the 30-minute hour.
Of course.
That's right.
The 0.03%.
When he kissing that trophy, that championship MVP trophy, he's gonna be like, the 30-minute hour. Those guys.
Doris Burke, I remember Ted Phils and Eric Twiggs.
That's right.
That was interviewing you. And,
That's right.
But no, that's very inspirational, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And so this is fascinating. So talk to me. So you're this great athlete. So how do you transition from being this great athlete, playing big time basketball, to now having this nonprofit? What was that transition like?
It was a pretty smooth transition. Actually, you can even go back to when I finished playing. I went to the NBA Summer League and played played a little bit there, in some showcases and things of that nature. And when I wasn't selected to go play in the big show, and everybody came up to me, what the hell, what's going on? You should have been there. You weren't selected. You weren't drafted. Yada yada yada. And I'm like, man, whatever. No big deal. And I played a little bit after that. But then my agent came to me one day and said, you ever thought about going to grad school? And he said that, and it was over for me. I'm like, I don't want to go overseas and chase his dream, keep chasing, and come back and be the guy that doesn't have no money in his pocket, because that still happens today. With these athletes going overseas, they get that tax-free money, and they spending it on whatever, but they come home and they broke. So you're 27, 28 years old, coming back home and don't know what to do with yourself. And a lot of kids get lost with that, and it's happening today.
So I would think that's one of the values of your program, because all you hear about is the success stories, right?
Absolutely.
You hear about LeBron James that doesn't go to college and just takes off, or the guy that's one and done, but you don't hear about the guy that jumps out there and it doesn't work out.
Absolutely.
Or the guy that, like you said, goes overseas and it just never pans out for him like he thought. He comes back and doesn't have any money.
Absolutely.
So I think that's probably a huge benefit, to really be able to communicate that total picture.
Absolutely. I had a couple of those situations. A couple of guys they end up going back to college, and getting their degrees, and they're doing better for themselves. But if you don't have a person there to push you to do that, you're just going to be in the street with your boys. Because I tell all the kids, your boys are going to be here when you get back. They're in the same place, sitting in the same quarter, drinking the same beer or wine or liquor, whatever it is, doing the same party. And so go away, man, do what you're supposed to do. And once you come back home, those cats are going to be there. They're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. So, I do these speaking engagements, and a lot of times I'll go to the high schools, and most of the males in ninth grade think they're going to the NBA.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you say? So I'm sure you probably see a lot of the same thing. These guys tell you they're going to make it to the league, they're going to be the next LeBron, Kobe, Michael Jordan, What do you have? And they may be listening right now.
The next Eric Twiggs.
It could be the next Eric Twiggs.
Right outside shot that you.
We'll talk about that later, too. 'Cause I have some personal questions.
Okay.
I want to know if they're taking 49-year-olds in the NBA.
Okay,
That's what I want to know.
Okay.
So we'll table that.
No, okay. We'll come back to that.
My jump is really good, by the way. But what do you say? What do you say to that individual? What's your advice for that person?
First of all, as he knows, I'm brutally honest.
Okay.
It is what it is. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you some.
Right.
School. I would say we got to get your schoolwork first.
Yes.
It starts, and I'm coaching now a little bit, helping my buddy out over at TC Williams, but it starts at home, man. These parents, they send these kids to school, and then they want you to be the teacher, the daddy, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But at home, they're not doing anything at home with the kid, but just sending them off to school, not making sure they're doing their homework, not staying on top of them, doing things like that, man. So that's a huge issue that we still have in our communities about, kids coming to school and the parents are just not being parents, they're being friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge problem that we have in our communities today. Parents trying to be friends with these little bad kids,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids never wrong when they wrong as hell.
Right.
That's just
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
So that's when I look at it in a nutshell, that's what it is. It starts at home.
Starts at home.
Right. My parents were always working, so I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Playing basketball until the lights come on, doing all of that. But if I had an assignment, I'm like, Mom, I'm tired, yada. Mom, she'll take a look at it for me. But they were always working, and I guess my work ethic comes from my grandfather, my father, and my mom, because I've always seen them work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always going to work. So nobody's going to nobody's going to outwork me,
Mm-hmm.
because I've just had a great appreciation for what my grandparent and my parents have done for us actually.
Yeah.
In the past.
And I think that gets missed too, and especially if you're somebody who's always been a natural athlete. You think, okay, I'll just show up. I'm always been at every level. I've been better than the guy in front of me.
Absolutely.
But as you get, that work ethic gets more and more important. The higher you go. I know in talking to youth groups, somebody says, "Oh, I want to go to the NBA." Okay, how many jumpers have you shot in the day?
Right. None.
Exactly.
None.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you do anything at home when you got home? Last night, did you do any push-ups and sit-ups, any crunches? What did you do? You just sat there and played video games. That's not the work ethic you're going to need to get to the next level.
Okay.
So we do preach a lot on that.
Okay. So interesting. So if you could get in your time machine and go back to when you were 14 years old and talk to your ninth grade.
Yeah.
You're this great natural athlete.
I remember when he was 14.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go back, but when you go back, you can talk to yourself with the knowledge you have now.
Yeah.
What advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now?
One thing, I wouldn't change anything that happened to me in the past because it helped me develop to be the person I am today.
Okay.
That's first and foremost.
Okay.
But if I could change anything, I would have taken school a little bit more serious.
Okay. Taking school more seriously.
Absolutely.
All right.
And I didn't know what a noun, verb, adjective was until I got to college.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was a straight sports guy.
Yeah.
I was just playing sports.
Okay.
So I learned that when I got to school, got to college. And that was like, wow, okay, that's what that is.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about just playing sports, and I'm going to college to play sports, and I'm going to be in the NBA or the NFL or a major league. That was my thought.
Right.
So the books, handle your books, man.
Handle your books.
Handle your books. That's first and foremost, man. And once and the thing with that too, also is that if you handle your books, you can decide where you want to go instead of somebody deciding where you're going to go. I had to take the only basketball off that I got. That was in my last high school basketball game of my career. Coach came in and saw me play.
Yeah.
So again, if you handle your books, you can decide where you want to go most of the time. But if you don't handle the books, then they're going to tell you where you're going to go, whether it's JUCO or wherever, or a school that you don't want to go to. You just got to go because that's where you're going to go because you don't have any other options. So handle those books, man. It's very important. Handle those books. Absolutely.
So I think about a year or so ago, you had I would think would have been a highlight when our high school acknowledged you, and you may want to talk a little bit about that.
Washington Lee High School Hall of Fame, man. That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to get the call that I made it.
It's great, man, because
Yeah.
they still haven't called me yet. I'm like, man, come on, man. I think I changed my number.
Right, yeah, that's probably
they've been
what it
trying to
was.
get me.
They've been trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah,
Give you the news.
That's right. Then I didn't make it.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I got that call, man. It was a blessing, and
Yeah.
I went in under all 3 sports, which
Wow.
was something that's I don't know if that's ever been done before.
So you're in their Hall of Fame in 3 sports.
3 sports. Yeah, pretty cool.
And we had some NBA players that actually was like Walter Palmer.
Walter Palmer. I was just with Crawford in Vegas over the weekend. He's now the GM of a top level team over in France. Yeah, so he's doing very well over there. He went to Duke, won the national championship with Grand Hill. Lost the first one, then came back and won, and then after that he went to Dartmouth. Finished at Dartmouth. You know, his family all graduated from Dartmouth, so that was one of the reasons why he left, other than some other reasons. But yeah, I just saw him over the weekend. Man, always good catching up with the big guy. So yeah, we had a few athletes, man, come through. Eric Sieber was somebody that I looked up to. That came through. He played for the San Diego Chargers. He was a tight end. So that gave me motivation to know that I can get to that level. And then it was Matt Blado's brother. It was also a tight end that came from my school. So that at that time I said, I'm going to definitely make it to the NFL because we got 2 guys here that I can see and that I can make it. And then their sisters and their brothers were in school with me. So I had something that I can look at, actually touch, to be like, damn, I can get to that level.
Okay. Yeah, excellent. I mean, just the names you rattled off shows the level of competition.
Absolutely.
So that's even more impressive that you were able to become a Hall of Famer at your high school.
He just didn't. He forgot to mention me.
Oh, he didn't. Right.
Yeah.
Who I shook a couple times.
I'm sure it was coming, Ted.
Yeah, everybody know.
I didn't give him a chance to get to you. That Ted Fields or something.
I'm telling you.
But we were talking off air about the odds of making it to that level, and I don't think, and the people I interact with, I don't think they really. Can you share that with our listeners? What are the chances, if you're a baller, what are your chances of making it to the professional, that NBA level?
I said 0.03%.
0.03%.
So if you take 10,000 people, 0.03% out of that 10,000 has the opportunity to actually play in the NBA.
So we said, 3 out of 10,000 people, for every 10,000, 3
That's
people make it.
0.03. So that's not. Wow. Yeah, I guess is that 3 people out of 10.
That's
Long odds.
Yeah, long odds, man. So get that degree, man.
Get the degree.
And I always say to people, if you don't make it to the league, there's other things that you can do to keep yourself in the league, though. You know, they need trainers, they need coaches. There's a lot of things you can do. They need video people. You know, it's a lot of different things that you can do to stay in the league. And I wish I was in it right now. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out. How can I get in there now?
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point. I'm trying to figure that thing out right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about some of the other people that have come through your nonprofit that you've been able to help and get to that next level.
Well, because of you designate me, I was able to form DMV Basketball Academy.
Okay.
And wow, over the years, probably have maybe 10 people now playing overseas. We were just in Vegas over the weekend, and it was 8 guys that came through the academy that were in Vegas, and they played in these different showcases for NBA, G League, overseas GMs, scouts, and things of that nature. And all of them played pretty well this weekend, and all of them have opportunity to go overseas. So, but this was the big show. The big show was, was playing in the summer league. So those guys, are trying to get to where he is. And it's a blessing how he got there. He has a hell of a story, his daggone self, how he got there, coming from a Division II school. That just doesn't happen.
Wow.
So, yeah, he has his own story.
Like
might want to, ask
let's hear it.
I've said this story so many times. I mean, in high school I wasn't, the most strongest guy, most athletic guy. So I mean, I didn't really work out a lot. Like I was one of those guys who thought I was just too good to work out and put in the extra work, like you said earlier. So I mean, I didn't really have a work ethic in high school, basically. But when I got to college, it was definitely like a wake up call for me. I didn't have a lot of offers. I didn't have a lot of like big time offers out of high school. I had D3s. A couple of D1s want me to go to like the prep school, but prep school is a lot of money. I didn't want my parents to pay for it and stuff. So I had some options. So after I graduated high school, I played AAU ball. So that's very rare to do after you graduate high school, still playing AAU ball and stuff. So I basically just playing AAU ball to see if I can get some more offers that I'm interested in. So after one tournament, I forgot there was Atlantic City or something. We played, and 2 Division II schools called me. It was Whaling Jesuit in Wilmington, and they wanted me to come there for a visit. So I went to both schools. Wilmington's in Delaware, Whaling Jesuit's in West Virginia. It's like near Pittsburgh in Ohio. So I went to both schools, and basically I picked Whaling Jesuit to go to the Division II school. It was in the same conference as Fairmont State, was where he went at. And my father went to Fairmont State too, so that's interesting.
His father's in the Hall of Fame at Fairmont State.
So yeah, the Mountain East Conference, Whaling Jesuit, I went there. So when I got to college, college basketball is definitely, opened my eyes, because you got to wake up 6 a.m., 7 a.m., working out 3 times a day, 2 times a day. You got to do a lot of stuff. And I wasn't used to, all this extra work, waking up so early. I'm calling my mother like, Ma, I don't feel like waking up this time tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But it definitely just made me better as a basketball player, working out that many times. Cause I got used to it over the time. Freshman year is definitely a hard year for any, freshman. So it definitely helped me become a better basketball player on the court. And so, I got used to it eventually, over the years. And Whaling Jesuit, I got better and better each year. I went from averaging 9 to 14 to 16 to 22. And I always wanted to play professional basketball. Of course, I was one of those guys who wanted to play in the NBA, like every kid. But after my senior year was my breakout year, basically. So I was averaging 22 and 12 rebounds, and I got Division II Player of the Year and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So after that year, I was okay, I can definitely see myself playing professional basketball, but I don't know where. Maybe overseas, maybe G League. NBA is not really there because I'm a Division II player, and that's very rare to see a Division II player goes to the NBA. So basically, met with some agents, signed the agent I like, and, I basically asked my agent, hey, what do you think route I should take? Should we try overseas? Should we try G League? Should we try to get some workouts with some pre-draft teams before the summer league, blah, blah, blah. So, he went out there to see what happened. I didn't really get a lot of NBA workouts. Probably got one workout with one team just because I knew the guy and we had connections and stuff. So, eventually I got a call from, the Sixers saying, invite me to their summer league camp. And, went there, was very excited, a little nervous as well, playing with all these big time guys, and I'm a Division II player in there, so it was really fun to be there. But I played in a little summer league mini camp before they got to Vegas. This was last summer, and I did pretty good, but they still cut me before Vegas last year, so I didn't make it to Vegas last year. But they promised me to play on their G League team, and then, the rest is basically history. Played in G League for them last year, did pretty good, and they signed me to a 2-way contract. And a 2-way contract is basically you play with the G League team, NBA team, you go back and forth, and it's basically you're developing, trying to get up to the NBA. So I signed a 2-way contract with the Sixers, and then, the rest is basically history, like you said. So, it's pretty, eye-opening story, motivational story, and a lot of people, tell me that motivation for them and stuff. So, it was just wonderful just to hear from guys saying that, because, I didn't think I'd be able to make it to something like this. I'm still wondering how did I get here, but, it's all God's plan. I've just been thankful for it all the
Man,
Absolutely. Wow, that's a great
that's
story.
fantastic.
Yeah. So you still feel like you have a chance to make it now?
Yeah, so let me run this by you.
All right, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, as we said earlier, my jumper's pure.
Okay.
I'm pretty good. I can crush you up
By
every now and
yourself
then.
or in somebody's face?
By myself, really.
Okay.
So what would you say about my aspirations? I want to make it to the league. I feel like I should be able to make it in the NBA.
Is there age restriction on the league?
They might put one out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would take a 49-year-old, right?
Well, like I said, there are many other things that you can do for an organization. And you still get treated like an NBA player in most cities.
There's other things I can do. That's a nice way of saying you better sit down somewhere.
Well, maybe one day you may want to just go out there and try the academy. I seen them out there running around the cones and doing push-ups, and,
Right.
and then I see Warren out there looking like he 17 out there with him
Yeah.
doing it as well. So let me know when you go out there. I'll be on the side watching.
All right, that's not looking too good as far as my career. Yeah.
Stick to the podcast and
Stick to the podcast and
the procrastination
in the books.
prevention partner.
All right. All right. Well, so is there anybody that you consider like your role model when you look at somebody who plays in the NBA and you say, you know what, I want to be like that guy? Or
You know, I was a big Kevin Durant fan
Mm-hmm.
in high school. He came from the same area as me, you know, PG County. I'm from Baltimore. It's not too far from each other. So I've always been a Kevin Durant fan. Loved his story. Loved the way, you know, he came to the NBA, you know, he became a superstar. Now, you know, he has the 20 Achilles, but, you know, he's probably going to bounce back from that. So, I mean, I've always been a Kevin Durant fan. Or a guy like Quentin Cook is also from PG County. He came through the G League, took him a couple of years, but he's in the NBA now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so guys like that who just, you know, came through that same area as me, you know, came through the same struggles sometimes, and are there now are just inspirations to me.
Okay.
So do you think it's a kind of a different kind of a feel from a person that kind of had to work through the G League?
Yeah.
A different
I
appreciation
mean,
for
the
that.
G League is different from the NBA. It's, you know, it's not, you know, it's not like a lot of luxuries. You know, sometimes we don't get treated as well as them, but I mean, it definitely humbles you, opens your eyes, you know, motivates you to, you know, get out of the G League. But it's fun playing in the G League as well. It's a lot of good competition, you know, a lot of, you know, good players in there, good coaches, and they really try to focus on developing you as hard as they can and try to get you to your goals, and maybe that's NBA or overseas or something like that. So, you know, I really like playing in the G League. You know, I definitely, you know, would recommend it to anybody.
Just recommend it to anybody.
Here we go.
So that's the solution.
That's
I think you go to the G League route.
Yeah, G League. Maybe the G League route would be a better route.
They have a lot of open trials as well. So
Yeah, they do have open trials.
Right.
One of these guys actually did trial for the, you know, the Delaware Blue Coats, which is the Sixers G League team. He was about 40-something years old, I think. So, I mean, hey, man.
There you go.
Dreams can come true.
There you go. But so, do you deal with the athlete who comes to the realization that he's not going to play at that next level, but wants to decide? Do you help him decide kind of what his next path should be, or where he should focus?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's part of, you know, I guess that's part of my being now.
Okay.
Is to try to help as many people as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, over the years, I've been able to make a lot of contacts with a lot of different people.
Okay.
So, you know, I can always make a phone call to somebody to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're a kid that was like myself, I was eligible. If you're a kid that's making D's and E's and F's, and your parents still allowing you to play AAU basketball and all of that stuff, and then you want to come to the academy to work out, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to fail you twice because you got failed once at home. Or 3 times. You're failing in school, you're failing at home, so I'm not going to be another crutch for you. So
Okay.
if your grades suck, don't think that you're going to come in and work out with me. That's just not going to happen. I'm not doing it.
So there's some prerequisites for people to participate.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So they have to have a minimum GPA.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't come in as a straight flunky and say, hey, I want you to come. All money, I would say all money is not good money.
Right.
And I'd rather just not have it. I just don't. And if you messing up, I'm going to send you home. And I'm not just going to say leave. I'm going to say get out my gym.
Right.
So we're in here to work, man, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have fun. We're going to laugh every now and then while we're working, but we're going to have fun. But if you're in there just on joke time and not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're out of here. You're out of here. We just don't have time for it.
Yeah. So what's a typical day look like at your academy?
Wow. Well, when this kid's around, we gonna go at least 2 or 3 times a day. He has Vertimax. We have a Vertimax guy that he goes to.
Explain that. Explain that what
Vertimax is
You know the Vertimax.
Of course.
Yeah.
I got 2 or 3 Vertimax.
Yeah, Vertimax training, it helps you with your strengthening, with your hops.
Yeah,
It does a lot of different
explosive
things. It helps with all of your explosions. But you got to have somebody that really know what they're doing. And then we have a guy in PG that's in Waldorf named Vince. He's a bad man. And he's helped this guy out tremendously. And along with the other athletes now that we have going to him. So we'll do that. Then we'll go get something to eat. This Chick-fil-A guy, he needs a Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
He needs to be sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Nah, I really
Absolutely.
do. I eat it too much.
He eats it all the day at one time. Do that, take a nap at the house. Speaking of that, he'll be doing it, still come home. He'll do his push-ups and all that while watching TV or whatever, fall asleep, and then we'll go to the gym. Then we'll work out the gym, 2 hours at least. And then after that, come home, shower, and he'll still got to get your push-ups or whatever it is during the night. So it doesn't stop when you're at the gym. It's a job, but this job just has to be a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. So, yeah. So we've been fortunate. We had a nice group of pros in this summer that's been able to help.
Yeah, some good pickups.
Yeah, some good pickups. So this has been the first major year that I say that I've had with agents actually sending their players to us or to me to work them out. And he stays over at the house all the daggone time. He's like
Fern can't make the job of Baltimore to Waldorf every day. That's too long.
And then we have my other guy Frank that actually stayed with me for the whole month of June.
Wow.
And so we'll be in the garage or out on the downslope of the garage, and we'll be doing ball handling because it's harder to do it on the downslope.
Yeah.
So
You knew that.
I find that same challenge.
Yeah.
That
So
downslope will get you.
Oh, that's what you need. That's what you need to burn the track. So what is it?
Right.
Yeah, man. So it's a lot, man. It's a 24 hour, 7-day a week job, 365. How good do you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in when Frank was there. Come on, Slim, we got to go do something. Hey, you staying here, we got to do it, man.
Yeah.
We want to get to the next level, let's do it. And it's been great to have him around because all the other guys see that you can't make it.
Right.
This guy usually doesn't talk or say anything either. This is probably mostly talking a while.
Yeah, man. It's the 30-minute hour. It's
30-minute hour, man. They don't talk today, man.
There we go.
Yeah. So like I say, I think more so with him being at the house, it's a relief, I guess, for him. I would say because I'm not gonna harass him. The house is all his. I'm gonna be upstairs in the room watching TV or doing what I'm doing. If he needs something, he'll let me know.
Kids harass me. I love his kids.
The kids will harass him. They harass him, but I guess it's a safe haven for this dude right here. So he's more than welcome to come over whenever, man. He's been doing it for a few years now, so it's been cool. Man.
So I'm sure we listened to this kind of connection that you both have, and I'm sure like when you were out there watching him last week and he was doing his thing, what was you feeling?
It's feeling pretty good, but I'm probably one of the harder critics when I'm watching.
So you talking about the shots he missed versus the ones he made?
Yeah, absolutely. And the energy is with Hayward, his energy level. When he plays with a lot of energy, great things always happen. And that's we had a conversation, had to have a serious conversation because during the season I don't harass him or bother him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to the game and I'll just sit there. If he has a good game. If he has a bad game, I won't call him. His agent be like, "Man, you talk to Hayward?" Nah, man, I'm not calling that dude, man. He know what he did wrong, man. I don't need to, I don't want to pound on him. But one time last season, I did had to, tell him to shut the deep up and listen.
Right.
He thought he knew everything. I saw the struggle 2 or 3 games in a row. I'm like, dude, this is what you're doing wrong. I know what I'm doing. I have to beep up, beep. And then he listened.
Right.
In Vegas, he played pretty well in Vegas. Had a game that he didn't shoot well at all. But he still was a positive, I think it was 12 that day on the positive, negative, on the analytics that they call it now. And, but we had to have a serious conversation in Vegas about, where he is and where he wants to go and what he needs, just stay focused on what you need to do to get there. And, and hanging out and had another little young gun with us. I think it helped out a lot that the young gun actually spoke to Haywood because he doesn't say anything. He'll be a junior in college this year, named Brent. And he actually, said a few things to Haywood. And I said, what did you tell me about Haywood? He said, it just don't look like he's playing hard. And I think that probably registered a little bit to him because this dude always plays hard. In that last game, he came out and did his thing, man. I said, okay, he listened this time. But I usually don't. I just leave him alone, man. I'll tell him little tweaks and things. Okay, you need to stay balanced, things of that nature. But I never just go over the whole game and you should have did this, you should have did that. This first season, I let him try to figure out himself. But going forward, I might have to every now and then. I might have to say, okay, man, let's talk about this. What's going on, what you did, and things of that nature. But it was my first season having a pro in the league. So you have the coaches, you have the trainers, you have all this. So I'm figuring that he don't need to be listening to me because he's there with the professionals.
Right.
And just one point last year, I just thought I just had to say something, and just at the summer league, I just had to say something. Yeah. It's just a relationship that we have, though. So
Right.
Right. Just hey, this is this is what's going on. This is let's tweak it a little bit. And we came out strong and bust their butts last game. So that's what it's about.
So you
man.
put it on him, huh?
I put it on a little.
That's
what he said.
They was playing Toronto. They was playing Toronto the last game.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Did a pretty good job, man. I was happy. I was proud. Sitting there proud. Yeah.
Good.
I can only imagine what that would feel like, man. Get out there and
Man, I don't know how I go from these small Division II gyms to these, big gyms like UNLV, around the world. It's just crazy, a lot of fans in those gyms. A lot of
Wow.
fans.
And so you just like go out there and then eventually it's like it's just ball.
Yeah, it's like, a couple seconds you got some nerves, but once you're into the game, it's just like, okay, this is basketball. I've been playing this my whole life. So,
Yeah.
It's easy.
And did you have to deal with any discouragement, like people saying, "Oh, yeah, be realistic." Oh, people from small schools don't normally make it. Talk to us about that.
Definitely. A lot of people who follow my story, probably, think that, I was handed a lot of things. I didn't work for anything and stuff like that. But, I definitely have, a good circle around me who motivated me and just made me better. I got this guy, my father, my mother, a big family on both sides of my family, a lot of friends. I got a coach that still talks to me today, a lot of coaches I still talk to today, a lot of teammates, and it just, made me better, knowing those people behind me and stuff. So, just dealing with people, haters are going to motivate me at the end of the day. I know there's people out there hating on me, saying he don't belong there, I know it is because it's just, that's how it comes, when you get to that certain level, people are going to hate, that's what it comes with. But, at the end of the day, haters are going to motivate me to become better. So, I just try to, fight through it at the end of the day.
So you almost have to anticipate that that's coming.
Yeah, definitely. People in my circle always tell me, hey, people, don't worry about them, just do you, bro, we got you, blah, blah, blah. So, just having people around you, who can just be there for you really helps, with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you deal with that all the time when people hating on you with your book.
Oh, yeah.
And that book, it's not going to be a bestseller.
But no, interestingly, but you do deal with that, though.
Yeah.
There's people that say, well, that time management isn't really a sexy topic or this and that. So, you do deal with that to a degree. But I think the key is, like you said, you just really just have to stay focused and just keep working and focus on getting better. And I think it's great that he's got you and that you're invested in coaching so that you can move forward. But I think and I'm sure at some level you deal with that as well, having to deal with the hate, the people saying negative things or doubting you.
And the hate comes from your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
People
know you
closest to
experience.
you.
Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah.
The hate comes from your neighborhood, the closest people. That's where the hate comes from, man. And I always tell the guys, I said, man, don't nobody want to see you succeed but yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of them doors right there, everybody else, you have a couple of them that'll be happy for you, but they wait for you to fall just so they can have something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because it takes a lot of courage to go after your dream.
It does.
Right?
Right.
Like you with a book or, I'm sure that, people are just sitting back and they're just like, man, that guy's got a book, about the 12 practical principles of procrastination.
The discipline of now.
The discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
But this guy had a whole bunch of hate that came after that Miami game, Miami Heat game.
Yeah.
Last Dwyane Wade's last hurrah.
Yeah, his last home game at Miami. He tried to throw it off the backboard. It was like late in the game. Everybody of course wants to see him, catch the hoop off the backboard. But I had a chance to get back on defense, so I had to block it and stop it. And then as soon as I did that, a whole bunch of Miami Heat fans and stands was like, "Oh my God!" Blah, 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 blah. I got so much hate for that. My phone was blowing up after the game. People were commenting my pictures, some wild stuff, saying inappropriate stuff. Had to turn my comments off.
IG and Twitter.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Because you blocked the shot?
Yeah, because I blocked the shot. But it's just I look at it as man, I'm gonna play hard no matter what you want me to do. I don't get in the court a lot with the Sixers. So I gotta do something. So that was, I expect the hate to come. They're just fans, but I'm not worried about them.
They're there to play, Man, that's wild. So you can say on his last game, you said, not here.
I actually took a vacation in Miami, and I was, a little scared. Maybe people will, recognize me, but nobody said it.
Right.
So,
Is that the guy over there at Chick-fil-A that blocked Wade shot in his last game?
I can't think of a true competitor that would be thinking, oh, this is Dwyane Wade's last game. Let me let him score.
Right.
No.
Doesn't happen, man.
Well, I don't know. What's that Kobe in the All-Star game, whatever, they let him score about 90 points. No one played any defense. Hayward did not see that video. He said, come up here, I'm getting it. That's all right.
I mean, I respect D-Wade. He's a Hall of Fame player, probably a top 3 shooting guard behind Jordan and Kobe. So I mean, he's definitely one of the best to ever do it. But I just gotta play hard when I'm on the court. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a chance to block Dwyane Wade. I would too.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
Certainly.
He'd be 70 years old. If I can get him, I'm gonna get him.
Right.
Now, I bet you the coach wasn't upset with you.
Nah, definitely wasn't something. I mean, he'd actually cheered me on for
Right.
that. So yeah.
Exactly.
So that's Sixers team, man. It's a pretty tough squad.
Yeah,
man. I mean,
yeah.
So once you get up there, we expect you to get there.
Right.
We got a spot for you here with the Wizards.
Of course.
Man, come on,
Of course.
Wizards.
Come
I
on,
mean,
come
me
on.
growing up, I personally wasn't a Wizards fan. I went to Wizards games though, but I mean, I like the Wizards. They're a good team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you guys think about the draft pick for the Wizards?
Oh, he played pretty good in Vegas.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his name. Rui, I don't know the last name, but
Yeah.
he's definitely pretty good. I saw him in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was doing good. Definitely doing good.
Yeah, he's like the first Japanese
Yeah,
player.
First Japanese player to get drafted in the first round. Something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's got to really complicate things now that the league is so international now. So back in the day, you're competing against the best guy from the Bronx, the best guy from Philly, the best guy from Texas. Now it's the best guy from Japan,
Right.
the best guy from Germany.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
It's different, man. Like I said, that 0.03%, man, it's actually
Yeah.
lower because you got all these other guys come from overseas.
Mhm.
So it's lower than that. That number is actually lower.
And they're not intimidated when they come over.
Absolutely, because
No.
they've been playing pro since they've been 15, 16,
Right.
17 years old. So
Right.
so they're definitely not intimidated. Most of them,
Mhm.
like the guy for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would be that good. God dang, that dude can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Luka.
Yeah, Luka. Luka is a baller.
Mhm.
I mean,
He won Rookie of the Year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
Mm.
tough, man, from another country. So he came over here and beat all of us up.
Wow.
And took the Rookie of the Year and went back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's different, man. It's a different game now, man. And international basketball is here to stay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the youngest player you'll work with?
But I really don't have I started out with little youngins, with kids that couldn't get the ball up to the hoop.
Yeah.
So that's why I started out. So my youngins now, 4 and 6, man. I got
Wow.
4 and 6, so they ball and they go hard.
Wow.
They're 4 and 6, so.
And sometimes
Yeah.
you see him and be like, okay, that one right
Yeah.
there, he got it, or she got it.
But it always comes from somebody else when they go out. Somebody else will say something because I'm just watching them every day.
Right.
And the great thing about the 6-year-old, when we're doing drills with the pros and all, he's in line doing the drills.
Mm.
So he's out there getting it in. So
Mm.
I at some point I'm like, the only thing I really say to him is that you got to get out of the way because they're gonna run you over. So once you get over, do your move, do your
Great
thing.
advice.
Right.
I was
right.
gonna-
Yeah, he
get
likes
out
to
of the way,
stay
I'll be
right.
trying.
Yeah, he want to stay there and take a picture. And, I made the basket.
You
That's
want to
it.
learn the hard way.
Right, right.
That's right.
So when he gets ran over, man, get up and move.
That's
Just,
it.
just move.
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
when other people see him and say that he's pretty good, I see it every day. So I'm like, that's just that kid. But yeah, he's pretty good, man. He talks too. He talks like a daddy. Yeah.
That's funny.
But you feel so you could see someone that's at a young age, kind of on the basketball court, and you can tell that they kind of have what it takes to get to that next level.
Yeah, because like I said, I'll do some drills with him, but he usually watches these guys, and he'll go home and he'll get on the basket right away, and he'll just start doing the moves. So I don't talk to him a lot about different, and he does come. He say, "Dad, you need to train me today. You need to train me today." Then I'll do some things with him, but he's learned a lot of the stuff just by watching these guys.
Mm.
So it makes it easier on me, and I just try to be a dad right now. Because sometimes
Yeah.
I catch myself like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Man, he's only 6." Let him ride it out. Let him ride it out. So
Right.
it's a balance. It's a little balance that I have with them, man. And I just want them to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. And I don't want to be the one that makes them say, "I don't want to play no more." So I need to take a step back and I just watch. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool so far. Yeah.
Now, where do you see this going? Like, what's your vision for what you're doing now? Like, what's the ultimate thing? Where do you see this going?
Well, a buddy of mine, he teamed up with a guy in Dallas, and
Mhm.
I go there, Attack Basketball Academy,
Okay.
and they have a building there in which he's there, and that's what he does 24/7.
Mhm.
So I would like to be able to one day have a facility. It doesn't have to be a huge facility.
Facility.
It can be, it can be this big right here, as long as it's tall. And the way they have it set up there is just beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And I would like to be able to have my own, or share building with somebody, because I know I can make it work. The kids are going to come, the pros are going to come.
Right.
They're coming now. But just to have your own, that you can go 24/7, would be a little different, because now we got to figure out times that we can go every day with places I work out. But that would be a goal of mine, to have a facility.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a goal, a nice goal.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So how can our listeners get in contact with you? They've got, if either they're themselves or they have a child that they want to link up with you, that they think has potential to get to that next level.
Well, I'm on IG, on Twitter. IG is DMV Basketball Academy.
Okay.
You just put it in there, it should come up, but it's DMV then _basketball_
DMV
Academy.
Basketball Academy.
Absolutely.
All right.
And the letter U, DESIGNATEME, which is You Designate Me, the letter U, on Twitter.
Okay.
YouTube is DMV Basketball Academy. And I have Facebook, actually, DMV Basketball Academy. So those are the ways, serious inquiries, and once I, chat with them, and then, we can set something up. But, that's how you get in touch with us.
No 49-year-olds.
Hey, you can come in, if you want to come in the gym and work out and get beat up, man, I love to see it. I love to see it. We do 202, 303, 404, so I would love to see it. So
Okay.
definitely come on in, man, anytime. It's free.
I'm asking
Free for you. Come on in. It's free. Come on through, man. I want to see this.
I'm gonna watch.
I want to see this.
Yeah,
Please bring the video cam. Bring the cam. I want to see all of
I
that.
can see you run around them cones. It looks intense, man.
Yeah.
That'll probably be my first and last session, right?
Doing that slope and dribble and all the stuff you're talking about, man. I can see that. That's funny. That's funny.
Well, Warren, it's been a pleasure having you on the 30-minute hour.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to go, towards the end, we always go to this Around the Horn segment where we leave our listeners with one thing to remember from the show or from life in general. Is there one final thought you have that you'd want to leave with our listeners?
I always say, if you're going to do something, man, put all your heart in it and do it. And like I said, I got to wear bands and all, and I give them to all the guys. Go take it and let's make it.
Go take it, let's make it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Go take it. I'm writing that down. Go take it, let's make it.
Right. Once you get there, let's make it is once you're trying to get there. So go make it, and then once you get there, once you're there, you got to go take it. Because nobody's going to give you anything.
Right. Fantastic. So Haywood, did you have any closing thoughts?
Just don't take anything for granted. Like he said over the weekend in Vegas, Brent, the guy he was with, told me, a lot of people want to be in my shoes, so don't take anything for granted. I think I didn't take it for granted being out there. I think I was just too chill about it, and I should have been more excited. But definitely just never take anything for granted. Always enjoy the moment, just, seize the moment, and just have fun with it.
Seize the moment. Excellent. Okay. Good stuff. Ted?
Man, I don't know, this is been kind of a special thing, 'cause this is my boy right here. Like, I've been watching him, watching things he's been doing, and looking at this, and looking at Facebook, and looking at Haywood, and all this. I'm just like, man, I'm just really proud of this man.
Appreciate it.
I'm really proud of this man. I'm not gonna get too much into it, 'cause I don't want it to be an emotional moment, get a little tearful and all that.
Right,
But I'm just happy, man. Happy with everything that's going on, and continued success, and he's been an entrepreneur for a long time. So it wasn't just this basketball thing. He used to do like fashion shows and stuff like that. So it just didn't go back. So he was gonna make it one way or the other.
Absolutely.
But I also like the whole concept around kind of visualizing something first, right?
Yes.
Like seeing the ball, going through the basket, right? So I think I kind of visualize seeing the ball go over the basket, to the side of the basket. But I can see how that could be applicable in life, right? And what you're doing, whether it's your next book or, winning a contract or whatever level of success, you gotta kind of see that first and before that can actually happen. So appreciate you sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is true. Like some of my mentors, even with speaking, they do that. They literally will visualize their whole presentation, who's in the room, how the people are going to react. They do that beforehand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's something that I probably need to do more. That it works.
That does work.
Yeah, that was a great tip. So as far as my around the horn, it has to do with this idea of finding the advantage in your adversity. And I think Ted hit on it earlier. If you're going after your dream, you just have to expect that there's going to be some adversity, one way or another. You may make a mistake. You may have people that are telling you that it's impossible, that you can't do it. You're going to have the haters. You may block Dwyane Wade's shot and get everybody mad at you. But you have to find the advantage, and you almost have to use it to fuel you to get to that next level. We have to anticipate that there's going to be setbacks. And you said it earlier that the setbacks are what make you part of your story, that they make you who you are, and they would help you to get to that point. So that's really my around the horn piece. Find the advantage in your adversity. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I'm inspired. I mean, both of you have inspired me. Warren, you've inspired me, and then Haywood, you've inspired me as well. Just making it to the NBA. I mean, you're one of the three, right? Exactly. Coming from humble beginnings, and you're taking the thing to the next level. And I look forward to watching you.
Appreciate you guys for having us.
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep our eyes on you, man, and much success. We're gonna follow you, and you got some fans here.
Gotta get y'all to a game soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right. I mean, this has been a great episode.
It has been a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
But the hardest part, like I said, was nailing this guy down. You guys don't know how hard it is. And we communicate all the time. Man. We always, kind of joking and sending silly stuff back and forth on Messenger.
Right.
But getting the time to get this together, and I know he'll tell you, I was blowing him up. Come on, man, you still good?
Yeah.
You need me to pick you up? Whatever. So I'm just glad we was able to do it.
Right, because then we leave here, we got to take this ride up to PA. And I was like, man, I need to tell you, we got to reschedule. Listen, I told him, I said, man, I can't reschedule.
No,
again.
man. No, man.
We just got to take a late ride tonight,
right,
man. We got to take a late ride
Yeah, I
tonight,
still got
man.
time to catch Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is right up the street,
man.
Right.
You get chicken sandwich, you be good. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. This has been really nice.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have y'all come back, man. We want to keep our eyes on what's going on with you, man.
Of course.
Watch you and continue success.
Yeah, for sure. Just please, again, share your contact information with our listeners. I know it's DMV Basketball Academy, but go ahead and share the full contact one more time.
All right, on IG is DMV_basketball_academy. On Facebook is at You Designate Me, and that's the letter U, DESIGNATEME. What's that on YouTube? DMV Basketball Academy. Facebook, DMV Basketball Academy. What else do we have?
Twitter.
I just did the Twitter. Yeah, the Twitter was the You Designate Me. So those are the best ways to get in touch with me, man. If you want to send an email or something, you can do info@youdesignateme.org. But the website is up. Go check it out. It hadn't been updated forever, but it does need to be updated. I'll get to it eventually. Been on the road, man. Been traveling, man. It's been blessed. It's been a blessed year, man. Been doing a lot of traveling, man. Just made a lot of contacts in Vegas.
Yeah.
So we're doing some things in Canada. We go to Canada next month. We do a camp there, and we're just gonna keep moving, man. Just gonna keep grinding.
So go take it, let's make it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Keep moving, keep grinding.
Can't go back to corporate America, man. Can't do it.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling you. I can't go back, man. 18 years, man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't go back.
Keep
man.
moving forward.
Keep moving forward. That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
See, we told you it's not your everyday podcast. now you see why. So again, you can find us at the 30-minute hour on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. Make sure you type in the 30-minute hour and follow us so you can listen to great advice like what we heard today on our episode. So this concludes this week's episode of the 30-minute hour, and until next week, have a great one.